If you're a man, you probably got a taste of rejection quite a few times. As a man, it doesn't matter if you're short or have a small tool, women will just want someone else because you don't have the genetics they look for. However, a woman will never admit she's got genetic inadequacies, especially when most men still find her hot.
Because the women always say that the man's dick is too small, but the women never say, my fanny's too big.
No, but this we go with the body. It's the body positivity. They will claim the same body positivity. I can be 500 pounds and accept me as I am, but the same woman will claim small d energy with something that's genetic, where if you controlled how much you ate and you exercise and discipline yourself, you can actually control. It doesn't mean you have to be a supermodel in a size, I don't know in the UK what the sizes are, but like size 2 and 0, like super skinny. But a lot of men aren't even looking for that. But you will claim body positivity, but the same woman will say you got small d energy.
Not only can a woman's fanny be too big, but so is her ego. Women feel free to mock men with certain physiques and inadequacies. A 5'7" man is pretty much discarded automatically because he's too short, but that's not everything. If you do everything right on a date, including but not limited to planning the date, paying for the meal, and even taking her to your apartment because she's into you, all the efforts might go down the sewer. Why? Because you failed to be excellent in the bedroom. Or, in other cases, if your tool size is, according to her, not big enough. In contrast, you put up with her flaky attitude right until she finally was available and even made you feel as if she was a celebrity. No matter how hot a woman is, if she acts like a queen and thinks she deserves top-tier men, she probably has a whole waiting list of guys who just want to bang her without the smallest sign of a ring. And finally, the body positivity comment is spot on. A 500-pound woman is encouraged to love herself even though that condition is just unhealthy. However, a man with that condition won't get any chicks whatsoever and surely won't be on a fitness magazine cover. A man cannot control his D size, but he can control what he puts in his body and the exercise he does. Similarly, a woman cannot control the size of her fanny, but surely can control what she puts in her body. No pun intended, and the exercise she does. Equal rights, equal lefts. Let's take a look at the comments. A chick will never admit she loose. A man with inadequacies such as a few extra pounds just gotta deal with it, lose those extra pounds and take control over what he does and eats. However, because of the rise of the body positivity movement, women with that same condition resort to excuses like having a slow metabolism or even worse, big bones. Small d energy equals man with preference. A man is supposed to accept whatever a woman is. Doesn't matter if she's disagreeable, not fit, not feminine, and surely not what you want. If you look for friendly, fit, and feminine women who meet your standards, then you got small d energy, according to these modern women. It's about time men tell them they got stinky attitudes and are not even good for bedroom fun. Even fat women want a man that's physically fit, but if you're a man and you say you prefer a woman that's physically fit, then you're fat shaming. That's the level of hypocrisy. A woman is praised whenever she pulls out a kilometric list of requisites, but as a man, if you say you're attracted to fit women, then you're discriminatory towards fat women. In reality, you're just picking and choosing. Let me ask you a question. If you showed up drunk to a job interview, would you blame the interviewer or the company for not giving you the job? You wouldn't, but these women think they deserve the best despite being pretty much the worst. Take a look.
I'm 40 years old and I feel like dating is 8 zillion times worse than like high school or like my 20s. And let me tell you something, dating in my 20s was a disaster. It was horrible. Men were awful. Boys were awful. And this is so much worse. It is so much worse. What happened to you guys between, 18 and 40? I don't understand.
Don't you love, guys, how it's like, it's always the men's fault? What happens? Why did men change? Men really haven't changed, guys. To be honest with you, it's a lot of the modern women who have changed. Okay, if you would like to have a traditional man, the best way to get a traditional man is by being a traditional woman. Unfortunately for a lot of girls, guys, when they go out there and they try and get married after, they're covered in tattoos, they're 40 years of age and they're single, they find out that the traditional men are not interested.
Does she have youth? No. Is she innocent and pure? No. And most importantly, does she want to look for solutions? No. And let's not forget all the piercings, tattoos, etc. That girl doesn't look like the type of girl you'd marry or date. She won't give you kids or peace of mind, just a ton of baggage and problems. She said her teenage years and 20s in the dating scene were horrible. Well, has she acknowledged any pattern among the men she dated? No. How come? It's always the man's fault, even if she freely chose to sleep and spend time with him. Jokes aside, if she falls for that kind of guy one time, it's fine, but she sounds like she fell multiple times without revising her belief system. That's the level of delusion you gotta deal with. To make matters worse, she doesn't look like she's taken a break from dating. Instead, she might have gone from relationship to relationship until she collected more rebounds than Dennis Rodman and Shaquille O'Neal combined. Let's take a look at the comments. If you want the right person to be in your life, then be the right person. This girl probably knows that 1 is the sum of the 5 people they spend the most time with, but she probably decided to pick bad people and allowed bad boys to hit for free. The biggest tragedy is that she still hasn't realized, by the age of 40, that she's the problem. She's 40 and probably has a house, car, and job, but doesn't manage to understand why she's single. She had almost half a century to heal her trauma and become a better person, but instead, she prefers blaming men. Nose ring, big hoops, shoulder tattoo, and 40. She's about to form Captain Red Flag. And that's the best comment I've seen in a while. If Red Flag existed, that woman would probably be the person behind the costume. And who knows how many bodies she's got. After all the empowerment by showing her body on the internet, this woman looks ashamed of her occupation. Take a look.
I think OnlyFans empowers you. Is it empowering for you, Miss Saudi Arabia?
It's very empowering.
Okay. Why is it empowering?
I am very proud of myself.
Okay. Women don't want consequences for poor decisions. If you sexualize yourself as a woman, 9 out of 10 times, every man you deal with is going to sexualize you as well in reciprocation. A man cannot objectify you unless you objectify yourself first. You can be sexually free, but don't sit there and expect people to respect you. They're not going to.
Shorty's crying?
Probably. And here's the thing, that's sexual empowerment for you. When you can't speak about what you do openly and you feel a certain way, it goes back to the biology, man. Women know deep down that, this is not acceptable for me to be doing this shit. Like, they know it deep down. That's why there's a reason why when a guy asks a girl, what's your body count, whatever, they hesitate. They don't want to say it. There's a reason why when girls say, I do OnlyFans or whatever it may be, they're kind of hesitant to say it. Right? Some girls might say it out loud, but deep down, if you meet a man of your dreams, you ain't going to tell him that shit.
And that's a big ass epiphany moment. You see, she tried to feel empowered by showing her body on the internet, but she ended up regretting her decision. The reality is that if a woman objectifies herself, men will hardly try to know her for her charming personality, background, and whatnot. They will just objectify her as well. The pill was so hard to swallow for her that she had to leave the studio. And yeah, it's all haram. She might have thought of her family, and who knows if she'll be disowned. The reality is that men won't consider her wife material no matter how hot she is. Plus, men prefer a modest woman over a model whose pics are circulating all over the internet. Let's take a look at the comments. So much for empowerment. Used to deal only with simps shows how easily their feelings and confidence are broken by raw truth. I couldn't agree more. Once a man with standards speaks the truth, the delusion is gone. She should have listened to her dad instead of disgracing her family name. Her dad and maybe her entire family encouraged her to be modest, but she preferred being the first Saudi bikini model. It's all very empowering right until you realize that men just want you for your body. That other girl is like, haram, haram, like she's doing a good thing. The Saudi girl left because she knew she messed up with everything that she's doing. She probably heard the word haram and started to feel guilty. Deep down, she knew she was doing something wrong. The fact that she cried and left the show is proof of that. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. Stay tuned for more daily content. Like, subscribe, and comment.